Well, we made it back in about 1:30 in the morning here, and everything was nice and dry, and we were tired, so we decided to call it a day and handle this in the morning. Well, as you can obviously guess what typically happens when we do things like this, it rained. So not really worried about it. I'm going to go through and do a cleanup on it anyway, make sure everything's good to go. But with every procrastination comes additional work. So now I'll probably have to spend several hours making sure that all of this moisture is out of any hidden places. At least we didn't drive down the road driving it into areas where it would be harder to get to. This is a Model H universal, actually. So it has the table that swivels. One of the primary reasons I wanted this unit. This is a very nice machine. Bob, the gentleman that had it for over, I think about 20 years, and actually did not even know the table swiveled. Used it for one or two machine operations that didn't require it, and worked very good. This is a 7.5 horsepower machine. The motor's been replaced. Once I get it loose, we'll do a more detailed review on it. As you can see, it doesn't have the overarm gear handle, so it's an older unit, which is interesting. I do find it rather odd because it typically listed by serial number as a 38 year that it was made, but it has a plate on the side here, which I'll get details of later, that say that it's a patented in Canada, and it has the dates 1941, 44, 45, and 46. So be curious to know, maybe some point it might have been built in the late 30s and not distributed until later. So the other plain 2.8 that I have is a 1944, I believe, machine, I said. So just needs a good cleanup. I can't see that it's been painted more than once, so it may have never been repainted. They had one mishap with it that actually knocked the cover off the motor starter and did a little bit of damage to it, so I've got to work on that, and but I do have the cover and everything with it, so we will see what that's going to take to get straight. You can see there it's a universal machine. This one has the pump and everything on the inside. My other plane does not. That's a good machine also, 5 horsepower, whereas this is a 7.5 horsepower. I've got to look at the motor plate. It was wired 460, so I'm pretty sure I'll lose some of that power when I go to 3-phase 230. But you can see it's just generally grimy. I think once we get her cleaned up, take an assessment of it, obviously going to need some paint and some TLC, but this one's going in the shop. So I like my South Bend. Once I got it cleaned up, I decided that the patina, or the battle scars as I like to call them, were character. Ended up just leaving it like it was because I liked the way it looked.
Today we've got the Kearney and Trecker mill on the back of the trailer set up to get off the trailer, and want to emphasize again that you have to pay particular attention to safety and make sure that anytime you work around a load of this size that you put yourself in a position to always be clear. So you'll see me standing back and doing stuff from the side a lot where I'm trying to be safe and make sure that I'm in no way going to be close to this load once it's suspended. So the pick's going to be to lift it up, drive out from under it, and then lower it back down. we'll see where it goes. I'm gonna go ahead and get my plywood and get it ready. One corner on the ground. There we go. Glad to see that down on the ground. Had a few concerns about that, but had to think about it a little bit and figure out a good way to get that pick done. Again, always be mindful of what you're doing and think your way through things. Take your time. If it's not coming to you immediately, just take a break, walk away, think about it, wait a day or two, come back, do it later. So again, when you're working by yourself, always think about safety and always think about being able to do things slowly and think your way through. Welcome back to Practical Metal. My name is Mike. It's been a while since I did a video. Pulling the Kearney and Trecker Model H in the shop. We're going to finally start working on this and try to get it placed. Been sitting outside now for about 18 months, had it wrapped up, so been taking care of it, you know, periodically making sure everything stays lubed up so no rust gets on it and everything. Took the drive screw out and a couple other things, just playing with it over time, but got it suspended here. Let it hang here on the gantry for a little while, for a few minutes. Actually, it's already been hanging for a few minutes, but we're going to pull the trailer out from under it and lower it down. I've got a plate on the floor. I want to be able to get it in here, but really been wanting to get started on it with everything's been going on this summer, just haven't really had a chance. So hopefully now that it's in the shop, I can finish getting everything cleaned up and get it put into service. So it's a pretty good old machine. So it's a 1938 model based on the serial number, but I've got some plates on the side that go all the way to 1946. So I'm beginning to wonder if this might be a pre-war machine that didn't get deployed. I don't know, but anyway, we're going to work on getting it lowered down here, and then we'll film that and we'll go from there. Notice while the easy path was to walk under the load, I chose to go around. And for safety purposes, you should always do that. And whenever possible, especially when you're working by yourself, stay out from under loads and stay out of situations where you could get caught by a load. So let's lower it down. Don't want to leave it suspended that high off the ground. I forgot I wanted to put 4x4s underneath it so I could get a pallet jack under it, move it around the shop, and also so it'd be elevated a little bit so I can work on the return for the pump. Whoever had it before me, the whole bottom end is just full of sludge. I got as much of it out as I could, but I know there's still going to be a lot of work there to do. Right. There it is, 4,000 pounds. 4,000 pounds thereabout anyway. So we got her sitting in the shop now, so next step will be to get the gantry out of the way and do that off camera, but that's a 3-ton lift that we got there, so pretty heavy duty, and about a 6 or 8 inch I-beam up top, so it's a pretty heavy duty setup. So anyway, that's it for now. I'm glad that I was able to get this thing in the shop. Looking forward to starting to tear into it. I'm going to see what I can do about cleaning it up, try to get it running, just see how functional it is. I got to get a couple sight glasses, but if I can clean it up really good and make sure everything works, I'm not really into doing a complete tear down, but I do want to get a lot of the paint off of it that's on there. It has a really bad paint job on it, so hopefully I can get it cleaned up and get it into service. It's a 2H universal machine. I do have a swing arm and head for it off of another machine that I've got. Actually got two of these. I got a 2H plain and a 2H universal. So I'm gonna take the best of what I've got off the plain and put it back on the universal so that I've got a really good machine here. So this one is in really good shape overall. So, all right, guys. Again, Mike Ray, Practical Metal, practicalmetal.com. Thanks.